Okay, we're gonna review Nobel Physicist Gerard de Hooft's latest lecture and how that explains the bilocation of the Shen in Taoist internal alchemy, and as it's called, bilocation in non-Western meditation, and you find this in Christian mystics also. So I've mentioned Gerard de Hooft's article "Light is Heavy" that he co-wrote with Martin van der Mark, and he got a Nobel Prize, which I don't really know much about, but what he's talking about now is a extension of his previous work with Martin van der Mark, which relied on de Broglie's law of phase harmony. So he has this great phrase where he says signals must be able to pierce information through a black hole horizon. So this is what's called the information paradox. And he's lamenting the fact that Stephen Hawking didn't live long enough for Gerard de Hooft to continue his discussions with Stephen Hawking about how to solve this black hole information paradox. So Gerard de Hooft is relying on what was called the Shapiro effect as the deflection of particles due to relativistic gravity. So that was demonstrated with the light being bent going around the sun, corroborating Einstein's general relativity. So Gerard de Hooft says when you take this effect into account and regarding black holes, then you get this secret revealed of how a signal can pierce the black hole information paradox. So this is essentially what you get, and you get a reversal of time and frequency as energy. So he says that most other scientists do not take this Shapiro effect into account, but for him it's crucial. So then time is running forward in one universe of the black hole. Time goes backwards in the neighboring universe. So essentially you have a reversal of space-time as different universes, but they're connected by this non-local time and frequency. So this is precisely what has been emphasized by also Paul S. Wesson in his final research around 2005. He also realized that Louis de Broglie's law of phase harmony corroborated his five-dimensional black hole truth of the universe. And this is what Gerard de Hooft calls his eternal black hole model. And this is the same truth that Basil J. Haley and David Bohm realized also, because David Bohm had rediscovered Louis de Broglie's pilot wave, that's superluminal phase, that's non-local, what Bohm called the quantum potential. And Basil J. Haley explained it's actually non-commutative or asymmetric time frequency. So Gerard de Hooft uses this model to explain the black hole singularity. So you have this, these universes are snugly fitting into each other as mirror images of each other that cannot be seen, but they still exist as interwoven, the interweaving of forward and backwards time. So therefore a particle can thus teleport or disappear, as he says, disappear in one place and reappear in another place. So this is a quantum wormhole, as the truth of the black hole singularity. This is also called EPR equals ER, or the Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen paradox of quantum entanglement equals the Einstein-Rosen paradox of quantum wormholes. And my own professor, Herbert J. Bernstein, referred to Einstein himself contemplating this same solution. So Gerard de Hooft is saying that the Fourier transformation of position and momentum means that they're inherently non-local and dependent on this reversal of a deeper time and frequency that's a time reversal and thus a negative frequency. And he calls it asymmetric time. He doesn't use the word non-commutative, but that's exactly what it is. And probably just because he doesn't want to get into the non-commutative mathematics. The Fourier transform thus conspires with time reversal as non-locality. He uses that word conspires because that's the term that they've used in quantum physics to explain this paradox. It's like you can't, either the universe is conspiring or it's virtual and non-existent. Our point was that the moment of particles going in through the x equals 0 line dictates the position of the out particles through the y equals 0 line. So this is the Fourier transformation, and thereby preserve the information. And so if you can preserve the information, then you solve the information paradox, but you cannot see it as a signal, even though it is still a signal. So then he ends this talk with this great thing he has not done yet before, where he takes his black hole singularity as the eternal black hole, and he says, what you got to do is you got to fold it up and show that these two different universes of space-time are actually mirror images of each other in time reversal, and therefore when you fold them up, they are equivalent as a mirror reversal of time and frequency onto the same. And this is precisely what the non-commutative donut is. In fact, Alon Khan, he does the same thing where he has an image where he shows that same flipping thing. So Gerard de Hooft has discovered the same truth of the Mobius strip as a Klein model that inherently cannot be visualized. And John G. Williamson came to the same truth that he called the quantum bicycle, or the quasicle, with Martin Vandermark, who worked with Gerard de Hooft. And I corresponded with John G. Williamson, who then just passed on recently. And I also corresponded with Basil J. Haley, who came to the same truth, and he, of course, passed on this past January. And then, of course, Alon Khan has made the same discovery. And so did Eddie Ocean, as I recently explained, using the block sphere non-commutativity as the Dirac dance that he got from my own quantum physics professor, Herbert J. Bernstein. And Fred Alan Wolf, I remembered, he gave a talk about the same truth, and he referred to the Sufi dancing to explain it. And of course, Eddie Oceans is saying this is the truth of non-Western meditation as Taoism and yoga. So the particles of the mirror universes are identical as position and momentum, only their time and frequency are inverted non-locally. So he's saying that you get the same physical phenomenon, but the coordinates are just reversed as in x and y, because of this information unitarity. So this would explain how the golden immortal Yang Shen is created in internal alchemy as bilocation. This he's literally explaining bilocation right here and how it is able to happen. So it's pretty awesome. Of course, he doesn't realize that. I doubt it. But I was just wondering the other day, well, how can you explain this, in scientific terms? I mean, I've tried to do it before. It's tricky to explain. Um, so thank you to, oh, his name's pronounced Gerard de Hooft. De Hooft. So sorry to all the Dutch speakers out there for hacking up your language. Gerard de Hooft.